Well, I'm obviously not in salty lass. So in case you're wondering where we've been for a bit, I've been at my mum's for the last 10 days. Whatever this flu that's going around the UK is, she's had it, and she's had a fall. And basically I've been nursemaiding her. So that's why things have been a bit astray. It's particularly cold, which is why I'm wrapped up. So I'm afraid this week we're just going to have to go have a wee dip in the archives, and I hope you'll bear with us, and we hope next week to have a bit more normal content for you. Okay, well I hope you enjoyed this little trip back in 2019 when we went from Liverpool all the way up to the north coast of Ireland. This is presumably Manx Gaelic on top, bun troglies, and it must mean infrastructure. But to me, it just thinks of something like some sort of troll that lives under the cake tin and nicks all your biscuits, and that would be a bun trogley.
Well, we're going to be going off to Northern Ireland this afternoon, but before we do, there's always a few jobs to do. One of them is to water the realist tank, because might as well, when you're in a marina, then it's always wise to add water to your tanks, keeps the boat balanced. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to swab the deck, because somebody, remain nameless, has put through the coffee over the side and it's stained the deck. Won't be doing that again.
Stop chasing fish and come and amuse us. Oh, it's closer! There's another one just there where the smooth is. And another one!
It's a rather weird shape that's being towed. You can see it, but we're actually quite close to that lighthouse there. Yeah, it's a bit foggy, but it's in there somewhere. That is one big boat. This is Carrickfergus, and behind me is Carrickfergus Castle, and to the left of me is the old harbour. We're in the new marina. Very nice facilities, I have to tell you. So if you want to, if you're cruising this way, I'd give a big thumbs up to the toilets there.
And the shower block?
Oh yeah, I'll be using that later.
I think we both shall.
Yeah, so thumbs up for that. Well, we're gonna be in a convoy.
This here's the rubber duck. We got ourselves a convoy.
We're not a rubber duck.
It's an
We're a
thing.
penguin.
This here's the rubber penguin. We got ourselves a convoy.
Yeah, I was going to say we're the penguin. Anyway, the convoy is ourselves. We've got Celtic Spirit. And we've got Prudence. Oh my god, she got so ecstatic after that one.
A boat named Prudence.
A boat called Prudence. So anyway, so we're in a convoy, and we're going off to an event that's organised by the
Sail and Cruising Club Northern Ireland.
Sail and Cruising Club Northern Ireland. So I hope you want to join us on this yet another daft adventure.
It's not a daft adventure.
It is a daft adventure. It's got us in it. That's the Celtic spirit. And there's Prudence. Right, fair enough. You can do a better job of rolling on the waves.
Well, I can see the waves, the other part can't.
Hopefully you've got a better job anyway. I'll let you get on with it. This is Glenarm Marina, and it converted from a harbour 17 years ago. I updated my B&G chart just before we left, and it's not on. It's a good thing we found some great local knowledge, because as I say, on my chart that I downloaded just before we left, it's not on. 17 years ago. Come on, Nappy Oops. Get your act together. That's ridiculous. If you want to get anywhere around the UK in a sailboat, you've got to learn about your tides. Yesterday we left Carrickfergus about 4 o'clock, and because the tide was giving an assist, we got to Glenarm about 8 o'clock, just after 8 o'clock. It was unfortunately mostly under motor, but we got here with a tide assist. It is now 4 o'clock, going to be 4 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to be leaving Glenarm to carry on up the close to Ballycastlle.
And hopefully the weather will be considerably better than yesterday, because yesterday's weather was quite frankly dreadful.
It was all right for about 3 hours of the passage, and then the last hour and a half the wind really picked up from the north, and because the tide from the north, but because the tide was from the south, you got a huge amount of wind over tide, and that just brought up a lot of white peaks and things like that, just because of wind over tide. I don't expect the sea to carry, because sometimes when you have a storm or something like that, the next day will be bad as well, but I think because this was just a wind over tide, it won't affect the sea as in that way, a storm would.
Also, the tides around here are quite strong, and the tide has reversed and gone the other way, and now is going to reverse and go back the other way. So
yeah, but what we're doing is, and that's why we've done it in two little bursts, because we've used the tide to get up to Glenarm, and we've just basically had a rest here at Glenarm, and now we're going to go back, carry on up, and we'll probably be arriving about 10 o'clock in the morning at Ballycastlle. So this is what 4 o'clock in the morning looks like in Glenarm. And I have no idea if you can hear it, but the birds are going ballistic as the dawn is just a little ways off. I thought I was going to be motoring all the way, but we've got the sails up, and in a second we're going to get the motor off. But that's Snow Goose ahead of us.
Yeah.
So that's Snow Goose. So we've Prudence has been dropped, but we've picked up Snow Goose in our convoy.
Alright, so we're motor sailing at the minute. We have the sails up,
The motor is giving us about 4.5 knots, the sails are giving us another knot on top, and the current is giving us 1.4 knots. So we're doing about 4.5 through the water under motor, a knot through the water under sail, 1.4 by a tide, so that means we're doing nearly 7 knots through the water. And that's good because we've got to get to Fairhead by a certain time because the currents around there are just a little bit dicey and we don't want to get left behind. So I'm keeping an eye on the flotilla convoy, which is just ahead of me, off behind the sail, and we're just having a great time. We've got sails up, we've got a nice calm day compared to yesterday's nightmare scenario. It's nice, it's pleasant, it's just a pity it's 5:52 in the morning.
We haven't got much in the way of different sea states, but when you're coming around places like this, watching the sea state is an absolute must. Pretty epic. It's quite quiet, but you can now start seeing the eddies that this area is famous for. You know, because you look at the sea state and you can see the eddies forming and things. So Beverly, what time is it now?
Second breakfast time.
Yeah, which is 8:44 in the morning. And that is my second breakfast in the pan. Oh yeah. And Bev's just doing some scrambled eggs.
Oh geez, the toast.
And hopefully... Oh, the toast is not burnt. But yeah, 8:44 and time. Yeah.
Time for second breakfast.
It's 8:44 in the morning and it's time for second breakfast.
So, where are we now?
We're at Rathlin Island Maritime Festival, and this is where we're going to be starting our Celtic adventures. So we're going to go and see if we can find somewhere that makes coracles of all things and make our own bit.
Yeah, and the other thing that's got our attention is curry sauce.
Gluten-free curry sauce, because of course with me being gluten-free, it's always important.
And of course we started that in quite a good place because it's not really too far away.